What's going on, Nicholas? He said, back at it again. What's going on, man? Hey, we just assumed you was on a Valentine's Day yesterday. Yeah, D. Yeah, we just assumed you was on Valentine. You had a Valentine. What's going on, Chris? What's going on, man? What's going on? We got a very interesting topic to talk about today. We're going to talk about society. A lot of this stuff affects dating as well. So we'll mention some dating, but this is also about society and every once in a while we have to break away from women and talk about the society, the human nature. It's really what this channel is about. Is human nature. It's really what it's about. My ex hit me up, bro. You hit? What you do? You hit? You took her on a date and you hit? You bad boy, you. Grow up and be just like Nicholas, guys. We're gonna grow up and be just like Nicholas. Oh man. But seriously, we have a big problem going on in America right now that nobody's trying to fix, but it's going to cause a lot of problems going forward. And man, by 2030, our world's going to be looking way different. We got 4 years left. 2030 is going to be that year where it's a huge change. Uh, Hand in hand stroll, nature walk. All righty. You let the X back in. Chris over there like shaking his head. Chris over there shaking his head. He's like, young blood, you're gonna have to learn the hard way, huh? I'm gonna let some more people come in here before we start the live stream, the topic on the live stream. Hopefully you guys been having a good weekend. Hopefully you guys been getting some rest. You've been getting resting up, getting ready for the week. So I'll let some more people come in here before we get started with the live stream. If you're watching the replay, hit the like button. Double tap the screen to hit the like button. If you guys want support, hit the super chat feature at the bottom of the screen. No rest, working out every day. Gains. I feel that. Yeah, I had a strenuous workout this morning. Not this morning. It was like in lunchtime. I didn't realize how good kava is. Do you guys eat kava? Kava is extremely underrated. I see the numbers are climbing. You guys double tap the screen, hit the like button. If you guys want support, hit the super chat feature. If not, the likes are free. The engagement in the chat is free. I read your comments. Yeah, I think Chipotle is better than Cava, but Cava is right there. Is right there. Now, let's go ahead and get started with the live stream because this is going to be a very intellectual one. As we look at the future of society. And I want you guys to know that as I speak on this topic, uh, I know a lot of friends and people that are in the teaching industry, and they all have negative things to say about the future of our children, and that there's not any proper laws or any proper education that is helping the kids engage their minds. A lot of this has to do with technology, right? We have kids today that are like, why would I need to learn this stuff when I could just type it in on Chat GPT and it'll give me the answer? Um, they should probably outlaw having phones in schools and having different access to different tools in schools, but they won't do that. These kids were raised on these things, and this is why they're socially awkward, which is why you can't really engage. It's hard for them to engage in real life and communication skills because they don't have any real social skills. All they know is Snapchat messages and text messaging and DMing and all this stuff. When they get in front of your face, they don't really know how to communicate. It's kind of sick and sad, which is, really alarming because, guys, I keep talking about AI, AI, AI. I mean, hopefully you get it, but if you don't, you're gonna see by 2030. Um, the low IQ problem that's contaminating our educational system and contaminating the youth, which we're going to have a future of basically idiots because our educational system is lackluster. Um, that's just going to make these businesses double down even more on AI. And AI is already smarter than the average person. See, this is what they don't tell you about the job market. The job market is a lot of moving parts. A lot of you guys were never taught about. Um, some people have good jobs because they know the right people. They have connections. They knew the right people in right positions. And you guys, every time you get a job, you know these individuals. You see them. So it's about who you know or who knows you, which is more precise in the language. It's not who do you know, it's who knows you. You can know Drake, but does Drake know you? Because if Drake knows you, he can do a lot of favors for you. But there's a lot of moving parts in the job market. Uh, there's people with IQ, people with low IQ, average level IQ. The people with IQ are already outpacing you because they're deeper thinkers. They can have a deeper critical thought. So whenever you get into the job market, you were already peaked out on what kind of job you were going to really get because you didn't have the brain power to become a mathematician or to become a doctor or whatnot. You didn't have the intelligence, and hell, you didn't want to do that life or have that job. But with AI, it's going to make the smart people look genius level. Um, and so the average to low average people, and when it comes to their thinking, it's going to make the gap. It was already a gap, but the gap is going to grow to a point to where you'll never recover because once AI becomes average, meaning that average knowledge to the everyday person, there's not any money to be made. It's just like with crypto. You can make crypto, the money's already been made. What you gonna do? Buy a $70,000 crypto coin, Bitcoin? No, the money's already been made. If you didn't invest in it in 2016 and watch it climb, it was already too late. And so we're going to get to a point to where AI is going to be so effective and so common knowledge that you won't even be able to catch up. You have to catch up on it now. Now, I keep saying this stuff, and this stuff falls on deaf ears because people wait till it's common knowledge, and by the time it's common knowledge, it's worthless. By the time it hits the news, by the time it hits social media, um, people should be calling you weird. People should be calling you idiotic. That's when you know you're getting in early on something. But when uh, everybody is saying it, it's too late. It's worthless. It's meaningless. The knowledge doesn't matter anymore. What's going on, Taylor? The public educational system, not the private. Yeah, that's another thing. That's another gem, Chris. Private school is the only education. See, that's the thing they don't tell you about the educational system. Not every school is equal. You got private and public. Private is way better than public school. You got Ivy League, you got D1s, you got community colleges, you got whatever, technical schools. What they teach in Ivy League is not what they teach at D1. It's not what they teach in technical school. And you're wondering why these people get ahead because they're that's a good point, Chris. It's so important who, and then a lot of people can't afford it. That's the problem. But there's a reason for that. It's so important who your parents are in connection with them. As far as I know, we replicate our parents' standards out of respect or rebel out of lack of respect. Yeah, we mimic our genes are our parents. We're a reflection of our parents. If your parents were two intelligent individuals, you are going to be an intelligent individual. This is why you don't mate with idiots. I hate to say it like that, but that's the reality of the situation. And increasingly, a lot of people are mating with idiots, unfortunately. I mean, idiots are highly procreating. You say, bro, I am late. You're all right, bro. Physical health impacts brain health. That's true. This is why, guys, this is why we preach health on this channel so hardly, or so hard, pause, so fervently, I think that's the right word, vividly, so repetitively, um, because this is very important. The things that, guys, I had a strenuous workout today, and it's 10:30 a.m. and I feel like I can do another workout because of the things I'm putting inside my body and ingesting. I'm recovering, I'm resting. These things are very important when it comes to not only your own health, but your mental health. What you put into your body is very important. So, yeah, you guys gonna have to look at what you put into your diet. This is very important, very important. And take your time with this stuff. It's going to take a few months or longer for you guys to figure out this stuff. It's a lot of misinformation, and diet has been impacted negatively for generations. That's a connection there. RFK Jr. is reversing it. I mean, he's doing a little bit, Nicholas, but I mean, he's not gonna. You think big pharma? I mean, you think these big corporations are going to stop injecting the different fruits and stuff and different vegetables um, with hormones to make it last longer, or you think they're going to stop Coca-Cola from selling Coke? Like, these things are horrible for you. He's not going to stop mostly. We live in a plutocracy. They're not going. He's not going to stop the rich food people from making their products and selling them. I mean, he can make it. He can do a little bit. Um, am I late? About 10 minutes. We'll be talking about how IQ is slowly degrading in the society and how it's affecting the future of society. What's going on, introvert? We have an Orthodox school which you can actually go to for free. Sixth graders come out speaking Greek and one other language. Shout out to the Orthodox. Seventh graders at 10th grade level. Shout out to them. Kids born in broken homes might not like their parents or misbehave because they don't care. They're too independent, and that's another problem, Nicholas. We have so many feminists in the West that they're going to instinctively break up the relationships. So it's just like, as men, we know the devastation of a broken household, but women don't because they're so narcissistic and only worried about their own happiness that they'll mess up a full blown marriage, or mess up a full blown relationship and have a kid out of wedlock, even though the kid, or even though the father told them he didn't want to have kids, because they're so caught up in what they want. They're so caught up in their clock, their biological clock, that it overrides their logic, and then it causes problems for them and the child. And all of this is because of their own doing. And we can't. I mean, we can stop it by force, but a lot of men don't want to put that kind of effort into it. So that means that we've given women an immense amount of power when it comes to children raising. I never thought IQ levels were that low in America. It's getting lower and lower, bro. And those kids are gonna be the kids that's, I don't know what they're gonna do, bro. Because AI, Is it going to be able to take? There's so many lies in the job market that people just don't know. Like, people think that capitalism is designed to make jobs, and it's like, yeah, to a degree, but it's really designed for profit. Um, that's really what it's designed for. And if you can maximize costs without having to deal with human beings, the pestilence of dealing with people, the lies and unreliability. Um, why wouldn't you do it? And AI is the perfect storm for you to do it. So we're hitting the universal income, whether we people want to acknowledge it or not. I never thought dopamine addicts. Yep, when it comes to corn, when it comes to oatmeal cookies, when it comes to video games, and I'm not saying video games are evil. Do everything in moderation. But this is what the young people are doing: Instagram, scrolling, social media. They're dopamine addicts. All of this stuff, weed, smoking weed, all of this is dopamine hits. Having too much intercourse that interferes with your goals. This is all dopamine addicts. And really, to be honest with you, Nicholas, and most people watching this, you will never, probably ever, most people watching, the average person outside, you will probably never ever really truly hit your goals because you're too distracted. There's too much noise in today's society. If you're a person that has to have social media to scroll, you got to look at corn. You'll probably never reach your goals because you're too distracted, and that's just the reality of it. You know, if you want to be successful, you got to be intentional, meaning that you got to write your goals down and execute on them each and every day, each and every week. These things add up. These little small increments add up and have compounding effects long term. So if you're not doing these things, you will never reach your goals. There's too many distractions, too many things to worry about, too many negative things in the news. I mean, you can't even watch the news anymore. It's damn near entertainment. You don't know who's telling the truth. Everybody's biased. The internet is becoming a weird place to where you can't even really trust 90% of it. And again, the IQ levels, people are not going to recognize this stuff, and they're going to be easily fooled by these big media corporations pushing whatever agenda they want to push. Um, I taught a master's program, and some people, women, were as dumb as the floor. 99% just happened to be teachers. Tell me about it. Tell me about it, bro. You know how many women I encounter, Chris, and they'll be teachers, and they'll be like, I can't believe they listen to me because I'm a teacher, and I have so many mistakes going on in my regular life. They'll literally tell you that out of their mouth. It's crazy, bro. It's crazy. In like these programs, like Chris, you've seen it, teaching these programs. These kids have no clue. They're just being herded through like cows getting head to slaughter. They don't know what they're doing. They were just told to go to school, but to not think. And that's the problem with people that are too much involved in school. These women that are so involved in education, all this stuff, they can't critically think. They're good at being told what to do by the teacher. Uh, they're good at what to be told to do. They're not critically thinking. They don't have any common sense. So that's why you can have degrees and still be stupid. I'm surprised Subaru isn't on here anymore. She'll be here in a little bit. She'll probably be here in a couple of lives, but I mean, women are flaky. They're all over the place. Who knows what she's doing? We're men. We got shit to learn and shit to talk about. Serious things. Women come and go, bro. That's the thing about women. They'll be on the live one day and then be on the live another day. I mean, what happened with our what's her name, Lorena? They come and go. They're all over the place. They don't know what the fuck they're doing half the time. That's why I don't take women seriously. I don't take their actions seriously. I look at them like I'm like, word. And that's the problem. And see, that's the problem with the IQ thing. Um, People are so caught. We live in a truly a hedonistic society where emotions rule, pleasure rules, and no logic or rationale rules. This is why you increasingly get people more violent because they're emotional. They're not thinking. They're more argumentative. They're emotional, not thinking. And all of this comes from the lack of IQ in our society and culture promoting this stuff. It's only going to get worse. The quality of person will only get worse. The irrationality that you see on the highways, the irrationality that you see with your coworkers, your managers, all of this is going to get worse because this is the culture that we're creating. And IQ is dropping within our educational system. These things are almost inevitable. You have to plan around these things when dealing with people. It's crazy. It's crazy how, and finding good people that are quality people that are thinkers are going to be becoming increasingly more and more hard to find. You're going to feel even more alone because you're going to be surrounded by a bunch of idiots. It's quite unfortunate. Serotonin is what we should be seeking. That's what really matters. Inform us, Nicholas, about serotonin and its qualities and its good things. I've heard about that. Um, Typically, that talks about the sleeping part of the brain, but you elaborate more. I've heard something similar to that. People argue that weed isn't addictive. It definitely is. It definitely is. And people gonna be like, well, it's not addictive and it's not a word. I mean, why would you, having a vice, guys, is horrible. He said double digits in here. Hey, yep, we're growing slowly. What's going on, Grant? We're talking about the level of IQ dropping and how it's going to affect the future of society. We're living in some very crazy times. And, a lot of you guys, you probably, in your personal life, you're probably like, damn, like, why do I feel so alone? Why do I feel like every person I come across, I can't trust? Every person I come across, they're lying and being deceptive. That's because they're low IQ and we're teaching individualism and we're uh, the quality of person is just deteriorating because we don't have any values or ethics being taught and we don't have any families and communities. It takes a village to raise a child, but we don't have a village. That's the problem. And nobody's really truly trying to fix these cultural problems. uh, the economy is big and we have to fix the economy, but we have to fix the culture of it as well, which is families. And again, um, when really to be honest with you guys, and this is some Patreon level stuff that I would say, uh, when men say they're checking out of dating and women saying they're checking out of dating, that's really not a good thing. That's really not a good thing at all because that means that your society isn't going to have thriving families or communities, and you're not going to have a thriving population that reproduces on a consistent basis in order to thrive and continue. And that's the problem when we have such a rampant spread of feminism is the fact that it's spreading across the world because people are looking at America for their cultural influences. And when women get into men making duties, they don't want to have children. And when they don't want to have children, that means the human beings become less and less. These are some harsh truths that I would talk about on Patreon. And I'm going to get started with that shortly. But I obeyed the law, never did drugs, was a moral person because I was raised by a good family. It's so important. Likewise, I probably drank a little bit in college. It is what it is, but never did any drugs. She probably got a man anyway. She just bruh, she just a random woman that don't know what she want. Women don't know what they want, bruh. This is an understanding that you have to be. You get drilled. It drills into your mind when you deal with a lot of women, introvert. Nicholas and Chris know what I'm talking about. You just at some point you just look at women like they're like lying 90% of the time. You just don't take them seriously, and it's not because you know that it's a dating strategy told by Myron Gaines and the Red Pill that you should be indifferent. It's not any of that. It's just like experience will teach you not to trust women and not to trust really people in general. It's just you know it's just the what comes with the territory. Unfortunately, their words mean very little. There's no such thing as a woman of their word. Your brain creates it when you achieve things. Serotonin is like your self respect. Yeah, there was a scientific way of explaining that, Nicholas. I had forgot it, but I know what you're talking about when it comes to serotonin and its importance. They're just making a bunch of excuses just to keep getting high. I agree. And again, you guys that do that stuff, you do your thing, but it's never good to have a vice in any way, unless it's a positive vice like working out, making good money. They're just making a bunch of okay. So the more serotonin, the more people drive, the more drive you have. The more drive you have, the more you achieve. The more serotonin cycle, exponential growth, and you can throw in, um, you got to have your testosterone. You can't be spilling seed all over the place and expecting to be productive either. Uh, but folks gonna keep doing what they want to do, and that's the thing. You gotta, like I said in that other live stream, you gotta step over the dead bodies. It's unfortunate. It's a harsh reality to accept, but it's the thing you have to understand. You can't save everybody, and you're not gonna, you advising people and telling people what to do and what they should and shouldn't do. These things are not really feasible and helpful. You have to want it. I can teach, say, hey, bro, you need to get into AI right now. Hey, I could say, get in shape right now. Learn your diet, eat this, eat that, do that. But unless you're really focused and locked in on that, uh, and wanting to fix it, you'll never fix it. These words are falling on deaf ears. This is why people charge consultation fees and coaching fees, because when you pay for something, you're more likely to pay attention to it and apply it. When the stuff is given for free, you're not going to give it. You're not going to take to it and accept it for what it is and try to implement it because subconsciously you think it has no value because it's free. We have lost families out here with eight. We have families out here with 8+ kids. A 20-year-old guy at a looks at a girl and sees tits and sees curves. 30 plus sees the same girl and wonders what demons she has. I'm already there. I'm not even 30 yet. This is what experience teaches you, and this is why we have to. It's very good for you guys to get into the game of life and to get your experience. Wisdom comes with experience. Now, granted, you don't want to be reckless and get into things that you can't get out of and be completely careless. You'll make some critical mistakes, but I'd rather you get into the game than watch from the sidelines because these lessons hit a lot harder when you're in the game participating. You're not in the audience just judging the other characters make their own mistakes, knowing that you would make the same mistakes giving in the same uh, if you were in the same position. So yeah, that's 100% true, Chris. As you get older, you're like, she's curvy, attractive, but what problem does she have? I mean, she's 28, attractive, looking. Why isn't she snatched up? And then you get to talking to her, and then by the first interaction, you find out immediately why she's acting the way she's acting or why she's single. You figure these things out, and you'd be a fool to take that same woman and try to make her into something that she will never turn into be. We always talk about con men. It's a con man, but women are some of the best con people on the planet. They'll gaslight you. They'll tell you exactly what you want to hear. They'll love bomb you, and you'll be thinking you have a wholesome woman, not knowing that she used to get trained by the football team, and she does drugs, and she's a recovering alcoholic. You would have never known this stuff, and she would have never told you this stuff. You got to read between the lines and do your research and double check this stuff and ask questions. Women have demons that they will not tell you, and their demons are demons that will uh, extremely affect your life. You know what I'm saying? I don't associate with women who disobey, disrespect their parents, because chances are that a woman like that is going to disrespect me too. That is 100% facts right there. You are preaching to the choir. Whatever unsolved issues they got, they need to fix them. Exactly. Yeah, yeah. Even Chris, even the uh, even OG Chris, Wisdom Chris had to give you some ups on that one. Yeah, that was some good stuff right there, introvert. You're really paying attention. Women will actually confess that they delude themselves about red flags and toxic behavior in guys. They are addicted to the dopamine of effing with when they're attracted to, regardless of being made. But we have to really. This is the next level of. This is some Patreon level stuff that I would say on Patreon as well. Uh, we have to re-examine the toxic guy. Is the toxic guy, is Pookie and Ray Ray, is Chad and Tyrone, are they really toxic, or are they displaying something that is uh, really meaningful to the woman? Because the woman, whenever she sees these men, she doesn't see them as toxic. Truth be told, we see them as toxic because they're unproductive. They don't really do too much. They're getting into trouble. They're not really making a whole bunch of money trying to do something with their lives. Some of them are. They do it illegally. They know it's going to get caught up or they're going to get deleted. But that's from the man's perspective. We're projecting our man's perspective onto women. Women don't think like us. So when a woman sees a bad boy, she's like, oh, I was, as a woman, I was felt, excuse me, I felt vulnerable as a child, and maybe some things happened to me that wouldn't have happened if I had a good protector. And this guy, he's beaten up multiple guys at the school. He's been to juvie. He's got a conviction record. He's a felon. He's in a gang. He's in a biker gang. He's in a street gang, and he has a reputation out there. So maybe he's a good protector for me, so I can feel safe. Now, that's what she's thinking, and subconsciously, that's what she's thinking. But when he hits her, she's like, "Oh no, this is not what I want." So women don't view these men as toxic. They view them for some kind of functionality, and plus, these guys, when they get into the bedroom actions, they do her aggressively how she wants to, and these are just the realities of the situation. Women like to be dominated in the bedroom, and it just is what it is. There's no changing that. She can't change her nature. She's a woman. She wants to instinctively be dominated. This is something they won't tell you. And I'm giving too much game on this damn live stream. I'm gonna have to put this behind a paywall. Oh man, we're getting deep in here tonight. The kids should be in bed. Pause. Uh, there's a story about a married woman listening to a woman giving women horrible advice pertaining to men. Then she divorced her husband, but she ended up regretting it. Stupid people, stupid. You play stupid games, get stupid prizes. It is what it is. There's no saving that woman, and the man would be stupid to take her back. Typically speaking, guys, when an ex is an ex, keep the woman an ex. It never works out. People don't change, guys. They don't change. The same nature that made them hard to deal with and made them deceptive, that fooled you before, they'll entangle you in the same web, just in a different way. And you have to be really, really cautious of the people that you surround yourself with, because these people will bring you down too. People are very important. They either lift you up or tear you down. And if you're going to tear you down, you'd probably just rather be alone, because at worst, you can pump yourself up. At worst, you can read a book, you can watch a podcast. We have technology where you can listen to things and listen to people that are very helpful and insightful and give you good information. But if you're around negative people and bad people all the time, you're going to fail. You are going to fail. You will be the third best friend that is going to be addicted to weed if all your other friends are addicted to weed and all that stuff. People are very influential on your life. So yeah, guys, we dropping some game on you guys tonight. You guys support the live stream. If you guys want to support, hit the super chat button. If you can't support, I understand times are hard. At least you can do is engage with the live stream and get more people in here. Double tap the screen, hit the like button, comment your thoughts as we go along. Guys that cheat, beat, get the hit. The women know they're crazy for valuing these men, but it doesn't stop them. Dopamine run. Yeah, and women like chaos. They like chaos, and sometimes, guys, if we're being honest, sometimes what you're attracted to can be embarrassing. If women are they, it's embarrassing to admit they like violent guys. You know what I'm saying? That's why they don't say it out loud, because they know it's really bad for them, but it's what they're attracted to. And you can't change your genetics, right? Let me ask you this, Miles, do you consider yourself a bad boy around women, or just a square? I'm a combination, bro. I'm not that easy to. I'm really, if you want to understand me, I don't know how true these archetypes are. I think human beings are quite complicated, but if you want to understand me, go look up what a sigma male is. That is more accurate to my archetype. The women compete with others, because what you have to understand, like the bad. Let me go back to the introverts thing. The thing about the bad boy guys is he doesn't think. He's emotional. He takes action, which is masculine. He's a risk taker. That's masculine. Getting all these problems and having 10 baby mamas by age 23. There's a lot of risks going raw with these women, getting STDs and all this stuff and all this. So, but he doesn't think. He's not a thinker. Typically, there are some kingpins that are thinkers and get away with stuff, but they're action oriented risk takers, which is why they don't last long. They don't live till age 50, 60 years old. But the square, he too in his head. He's too thinking. So I was going somewhere with that. I forgot where I was going with that. But yeah, I can't be a bad boy, because a bad boy, he's too one sided, and the square is too one sided. He's smart, but he overthinks. He doesn't have any style, swagger, and it just is what it is. He's an engineer kind of type guy, mathematician kind of guy. The women compete with others for who they bag the man as well, even if his value is based on nothing at the core. Exactly. That's true. That is a game I am an expert at playing. Yeah. Women hoard around the same guys. So social proof is That's why fame is the most effective tool when it comes to women. Fame and social proof. People think it's money. No, it's not money. It's either looks or it's really fame. Uh, if other people like you, they're gonna like you. Women are uh, basically herd animals. I keep saying that. She got scammed and played, and the fact that you got to listen to a woman's advice on how to do this or do that to a man just goes to show you how dumb a lot of females like her are. But I mean, it works. Unfortunately, that's the problem. Introvert, it works. Um, which means there's something wrong with these men as well. Attraction is both a gift and a curse at this point. The women attracting thugs is a curse. Yeah, in the at the end of it, yeah. Easiest way to get an ex back is to get a new girlfriend. Crazy. Exactly. That's the way you get out of the friend zone, guys. A lot of you young guys that are in the friend zone. You like, damn, how I get this chick that I really want? Get you a fine ass girlfriend that ain't her and take her around her. That's the secret that nobody wants to talk about. I'm gonna say this is gonna be shocking to you guys. This is probably not gonna go too much into this because this is Patreon kind of stuff. But a bad bitch is an investment. A bad bitch is an investment. I know that sounds weird to you guys. I might have to make a video about it on Patreon. But that is a bad bitch is an investment. If you know, you know. If you know, you know. So you're like a hybrid. Yeah, I got some edge in me only to a certain extent, and the risks that I'm taking are riding roller coasters and ish like that. But I am not a. I mean, you have to be who you are. It'd be idiotic for you to go out there and be a crash dummy because why would you be a thug? A lot of these, like I was looking at Lil Reese. You guys know Lil Reese, the old block stuff, Chief Keef and all them guys. These people were smoking weed and getting into fights at like third grade. They were raised with this shit. They were raised to be thugs. They was jacking little kids' bike and beating them up. They were raised to be that homie from the start. Their parents were poor and told them how to be violent and all this stuff. So this is what they were brought up into. This is not them acting. This is who they actually are from their environment. And so you'd be a fool of yourself to think that you can create this kind of thug persona and fake it till you make it to be a thug. It's the stupidest thing ever. You can dress like a thug and parade yourself around like a thug, but you can cosplay it. But when people put you to the test, you just know you're gonna fail it because you're not like that. You're not brought up like that. Be yourself. I think it is supply and demand. The less you make yourself available to them, the more they want you. Exactly. Scarcity, social proof, not always being available. These are common tactics that work against women. But the thing you have to be aware of is you have to actually be busy doing something. This is not a dating strategy. The reason why successful guys can ignore women is because they're doing other shit. They have business dealings, they have to work out, they have friends, they have a lot of a social life. They're working. They're not just as a guy that's going places and trying to go somewhere and building stuff, like there's never just a 3 hour part of your day where you're just doing nothing. The only time that you're never doing anything is when you're sleeping. When you're awake, you're always doing something. You don't have time to just sit around. And oftentimes I put my phone on no notifications. Only reason why I put notifications on my phone is because I still work, so you got to communicate with your supervisors and managers. But if I didn't have them, guys, I'd have all my notifications silenced. That shit is distracting. You dropping game. I'm in the comments dropping gems. God damn, I know. Wanted to put this behind a paywall. Exactly. This is a false flagging, as they call it. It's like surfing a wave with women. Timing, the right moves. Timing is crucial as well. Yeah, timing is extremely crucial. So yeah, this explains this. Let's go back to the IQ thing for a little bit, for about another 5 minutes before we get off the live stream. And as you guys come in here, double tap the screen if you haven't already. If you guys want support, hit the super chat feature at the bottom of the screen. Um, let's go back to this IQ thing for a second. So IQ is dropping because of the educational system in America is lackluster, in combination, in addition with the broken families. And so the parents are not reinforcing education because she's a single mom. She had to work 3 jobs. She can't check the kids' homework like the 1950s woman that stayed and organized and managed the household while the father, when it made the money, that's the problem. People aren't being in their roles. And so she's working 3 jobs, struggling in the hood, raising 3 kids. The kids are raising themselves. They're not getting reinforcement on their studies. And so the IQ is inevitably going to drop through these different factors: lack of education, lack of families, lack of community to enforce these things. Because if typically in a good community or village where the village is raising the child, not only would you be called out by your parents, you get called out by other people, your elders, not only in your family, but people in the neighborhood. When they would tell your parents if you messed up and they saw things, but these things are deteriorating in our society, they're non-existent. So IQ is going to inevitably drop. It's going to drop. It will continue to drop. Nobody's trying to fix it. This is something that we can't stop. So we got to plan around these different things. And so, as the women, as we age, we're late 20s, early 30s. A lot of us, and Chris is a little bit older. Um, as we turn 40 and we look at these women for suitors for relationships, 25-year olds and up, or 20 to 25 years old, and we're 35, 40 years old, we're going to be dealing with a whole bunch of idiots, brainless women. They'll be attractive but they don't have any substance. They'll be attractive but they're brainless. They don't have any common sense. They'll need direction. They'll need leadership. And we don't mind having leadership, but they'll be in feminist intoxicated with feminism, which feminism teaches them to disobey the man, which means what? There's no cohesiveness within the relationship. Just nothing but dysfunction. So when we get older and we're dating these women, they're not going to be women that you can a lot of women that you can take seriously. They'll be ran through and they'll be having a whole bunch of student loan debt from going to these colleges that aren't really teaching them anything, and they'll probably not have a job because AI by that point will probably have taken over the job market mostly. So they'll be broke and begging on these different sugar daddy apps. And the 80-20 rule, we thought it was bad before. It'll probably go to the 90-10 rule um, by then. The average guy will really be fucked then. He'll really be properly fucked then. You think you can't get a date now, just wait until AI, comes the next 5 to 10 years. You really can't get a date then. You'll be stuck in your financial place. I used to ride a bike in the neighborhood and on a trail at one point without going too crazy. That can be considered getting on your edgy side. I may be a lot of things, but a thug ain't one of them. This is why I like Ukrainian woman I've been seeing. She's so different to westernized women, traditional. Hey, this is why. Hey, this is why. That's what Chris is dating, married to. you know. So Chris, I'm sure Chris gonna typing something right now. He's like, yeah, bro, that's the way to go, the place to go, because these women today, man. And he's like, hell yeah, yeah, because we talk a lot of mess about these different countries, but some of these different countries have better education than we have, which means that on average they're more intelligent and good looking. So Passport Bros is definitely a place for you guys to go. And when they come over here, a lot of those people, the Asians, the Ukrainians, the whatever they come from, they're shocked at how crazy the average American is because when their own culture teaches education at a higher level than we do. It's quite sick and sad. So that's another reason for you guys to go overseas. These women have better culture and they have better education. He said he found a woman in the Ukraine. Introvert was asking a question. Nicholas, he said, Nicholas writes, she and her mom and grandma moved because of war. She's at college. Uh-oh. She's getting indoctrinated. Oh yeah, the war in Ukraine. Yeah, that crazy how that hadn't stopped. Mission movement to contact. What's going on, Ben Patrick? Yeah, we just about to get off the live stream, bro. Appreciate you coming in. We dropped a whole bunch of games, so you're gonna have a whole bunch of stuff to look back through and look at. We had a really informative live stream today. My wife arrived here with two master degrees. Master's degrees in different countries. That because they probably don't have a whole bunch of debt either, but they could have debt. Who knows? You had to let us know, Chris. He said, "My bad. No, you good, bro. It is what it is." Yeah, I'm gonna have to get out of here shortly. Get ready for tomorrow. Yeah, so you guys seen your last little questions and comments as we wind down. Zero debt. Shout out to her. See, Chris knows what he's doing. He's been in the game a long time. I knew she was a good woman from the get go. No skin showing, clothed, no makeup, polite. Hey, there you go. There you go. And she probably blind too. The Ukrainian women probably blind. So yeah, you in there like swimwear. I might date overseas as a last resort if all else here in the US fades. Well, it's already faded, bro. The evidence is already here, and that's the prop. That's the thing. You know, we talk about society and technology and all this stuff and how much it changes. Well, guys, we have to recognize that dating people's strategies they change too. So, acting nonchalant and all this stuff, women have caught on to these different things. They've adapted. They figured out a way around it. So you have to adapt, just like you have to get new skills in the job market every 2 to 3 years. Really, shorter than that nowadays. But now you have to adjust your dating strategy every 6 months to a year because women will have caught on to what you're doing. And so, um, like I'm still on some of these dating apps. Like I'm still on Bumble and all this stuff, and I get to swiping sometimes, or I just swipe through some women. I'm like, this is gone. This is dead. You know what I'm saying? Like this is all the apps are dead. They're dead. And what I'm really saying is, yeah, you can go on there and smash a couple chicks and all that stuff. I have no problem with that, getting that. But like when it comes to quality, when it comes to the it's just no, it's just gone. And so this is why I said dating is monetized because they pivoted to a different thing. Normie dating has switched now, and plus the economy is getting a little bit worse. So they're flocking to the rich guys even more than ever before. They're flocking to the celebrities more than they've ever before done this. They're flocking to the men that show off their money and flaunting and telling them a dream even more than before. So, the dating, the shift is there's new dating shift every 6 months to a year. So let me read some of these comments as we wind down and get up out of here. I appreciate you guys watching for about an hour. She's a light bond, definitely rare wife material. Well, hey, there you go. Build you up either settle down with her or build you a Ukrainian. Rouster Nicholas. He said you right. I even respect how she betted me first. Yes, she sees some value in the dating market sucks in America. Got to invest in a passport. Yeah, I already got mine, bro. Shit. Next time, I hope you guys, when you get your income tax, I hope you guys do something constructive with it. I know what the first thing I'm doing when I get my income tax, I'm getting global entry. Global entry. I already got the what is that? TSA pre-check, all that shit. I already got my passport, TSA pre-check. I'm getting global entry, bro, and now I'm gonna be ready to go. Be ready to go, bro. And that's some other Patreon level stuff. If you didn't know, then you know. But look these things up. Part of me loves the women that jump in bed, but I deep down hope that for a woman who takes time respectively, well, be yourself, bro. But definitely don't let that woman go. You don't lose an asset. Uh, Especially since she sought you out first. She sees you as a prize. Just like us men had caught on to what women are doing too. Yeah, they're adjusting. Everybody's adjusting their mindset, their strategies. Dino, go Dino. I'm gonna call you Dino. It's been a while, bro. Is failing in America. I'm from '80s, and we always knew Americans are dumb and brainwashed. That's crazy. Don't come to Europe. We do not want you here. All right, Dino. Let's see. You can get a passport to go overseas as long as you don't have a serious criminal record because some countries will deny you fully visit them. Yeah, exactly. I mean, hell, the United States they can't if you're a convicted felon, you can't leave the country. I'm a 55-year-old. I feel like I'm surrounded by I don't know what that is. It's a weird ass name. You'll be ready to go like John Legend in Green Light. So you guys are gonna wind down the stream. You guys see your last little bit of questions and comments before we get off the live stream. I really appreciate you guys for coming in here tonight. My man Dino said, "Do not come to Europe." To be honest with you, a lot of the European countries are not doing extremely well right now. Hell, the pound. Hell, you guys go over to London. That pound, homie, you gonna be broke as hell because the pound is doing better than the dollar. You go over there and feel broke as hell over in the UK. So I heard a lot of the destinations to go are either Central America, South America, or Asia. Those are the golden locations. A few places in Europe, a few places in Africa. Yeah, that is true. I'm from Denmark and fought in Afghanistan and get the respect we got. You will not like to meet me in a bar when I'm drunk. You will experience free healthcare. What you trying to say? What you trying to say? Some of these European countries can be, yeah. I mean, as I mean, that is true. Introvert, but I mean, we're not gonna live in fear. Some of it doesn't have to do with color. What you have to realize is the world is a lot bigger. See, racism is really an American thing. Not saying that it's not in other places as well. It probably is, but when you talk in these other countries, they're going to identify you as American right away. So you can't really tell if it's American or a black. It's probably an American thing. Russia and Poland. I mean, it's probably the males, not the women. Do you see? It's a mating thing. It's a mate guarding thing. Do you see Mike Tyson visit Ireland recently? He's got a hero's reception. I did not see that. Shout out to Mike Tyson. I heard Ireland's a really nice place to visit. Nah, I acutely not. I think I'm more open to Black Americans than the whites. There you go. Fusion Unleashed said hi. What's going on, Fusion? But like, don't get caught into all that stuff, bro. Like, you constantly thinking about black and white. You forgetting about the Asians too. Some of them Asians be, they hate Americans too. You know what I'm saying? We got war with China and all that stuff. And plus, you don't want to be going to Russia when there's a whole bunch of tension between the countries. This is why you guys got to do a lot of your research. Don't just randomly leave the country. Really look at what, like right now, why the hell would you go to Venezuela right now? Why? We just invaded Maduro, got snatched him up. A lot of tension over there. We're threatening different countries in Central America. It's not the ideal place to visit these countries now. You got to really be thinking about this stuff. These are not just quick decisions you make in 7 days. You got to take your time and plan these stuff out. Most definitely, and you have to research what you're going to actually do there, how much the tickets cost are to and back, and the flights, the hotels, the food, what entertainment you're going to get into. All this stuff is extremely expensive too. So this is you got to think about what's going on between the countries, what you're going to do there, the fun, all that. It's a lot of thinking. Uh, Conor McGregor comeback training video out too, bro. He need to just retire, bro. I don't want to see his ass, bro. Hell nah, bro. He don't have it anymore. And it's okay. He had a great run. I don't want to see him fight. He didn't broke his shin against, what is that? Dustin Poirier. I'm like, bro, you're older now. Just hang it up. You've already made a whole bunch of money. Unless he blowing it all. Right, if it's too dangerous to visit these countries right now. I actually think now it's more better to travel in the world. Yeah, I mean, depending on where you're going. Mexico is one of the most dangerous countries. Yeah, people still travel there. Yeah, I mean, if you're traveling, if you're going, if you you gotta stay on the resort. You know, Mexico ain't dangerous. If you, they're not. These other countries aren't gonna mess up the tourist place because that's a lot. It's where they make a lot of their GDP, their money from for their economy. So, but like if you go, randomly walking down the middle of Mexico, this random city, then hell yeah, it's a dangerous. But like, as long as you stay in the resort, you good. Excuse me. And that's really a lot of countries in the Central Americas. If you go off that resort, homie, especially if you don't know the language, cooked. He's looking sharp, bro. I don't want to see no Conor McGregor. Who he gonna fight, bro? Like, who is he gonna fight? I don't know. Like, it's just it's over, bro. I just hang it up. That's just me. Where Chris at? I don't want to see Conor McGregor fighting no more, bro. That's I'm over that. He got to be pushing 40. Again, it's where you're going in Colombia. You know what I'm saying? Like, guys, you got to understand. Like, Colombia is a country. There's certain parts of it, like go to like Brazil. Sao Paulo is a very comfortable place. It's a wealthy place. I haven't been, but I've done a lot of research on it. Sao Paulo is very comfortable and all that stuff. But other parts of Brazil, it's just like with every city. There's good and bad parts of it. So I didn't mean to come in negative. I just speak my opinion. No, you good, Dino. You didn't say anything wrong. Nate Diaz 3 speculation. The summer White House. That's about the only fight he can do. I would travel to Colombia. Yeah, I mean Colombia is safe, bro. It depends on where you're going. Like, of course, don't use a day naps and of course and all this stuff, but like, you know, but like I don't know, it's too many passport bros in the Dominican and in Colombia. It's too many brothers over there. I'm gonna have to go somewhere else. Hell no. I came over there to get some to uh to get away from some Americans. I need to go somewhere where it's a little bit of Americans, but mostly the other people. You know what I'm saying? Colombia and Dominican Republic, they probably got some fine ass women, but them ran through ass women and they be screwing them tourists. Hell no, bro. Colombia, Mexico, America is the countries are the worst when it comes to knife crimes. To try Peru. Them Peruvian women don't look very appealing. I'm gonna be honest with you, Chris. But I mean, I would go there for other purposes as well to like view the mountains and all that stuff and get some food and culture. I did small research on Brazil in terms of finding which is the safest city in Brazil. Sao Paulo is gonna be one of them. Now it's going to be expensive part too, and I ain't gonna get into all that. Anyways, it's like jumping from the skillet to a pot of boiling water. So yeah, guys, we're gonna go ahead and get up out of here, man. I really appreciate you guys coming in here, being in here. Had a fantastic live stream, lots of game being dropped. Hopefully, you guys got a lot of value out of tonight's live stream. I really appreciate you guys coming in here supporting. We're gonna be live again Tuesday. We got a video dropping tomorrow and Wednesday and Friday. We got another live stream Tuesday and Thursday, and so we're going to be. Uh, that's the schedule for this week. You guys be on the lookout for different YouTube shorts dropping on Tuesday and Thursday as well. Um, so That's the plan for this week. Again, I appreciate you guys. You guys have a good rest of your week. I will see you Tuesday. Shout out to everybody that supported the stream today. Hit the like button, engage with the live stream. Shout out to Dino. Shout out to Introvert. Shout out to Chris. Shout out to Nicholas, as always, OGs. Shout out to Grant. Shout out to, let's see. Shout out to Dan Patrick. Shout out to Taylor. Let's see. Let me see if I missed anybody. No, I think we got everybody. I think that's pretty much everybody that showed up. Again, I appreciate you guys, man. You guys get some rest. Yeah, see, Dino says Sao Paulo is a good destination. Yeah, you guys get some rest, man. We got a long week ahead of us. Make you some money this week, and then we'll see you guys Tuesday, man. Peace. He said, as Nicholas said, it's good leveling up knowledge here. Exactly. This is what this channel is about. Informative knowledge that can help you on a day-to-day basis, and it's about, mental, um, good quality mental food. Lack of a better term. But again, thank you guys. See you guys Tuesday. Peace.